It's Emily Banana. Welcome to day one of hiking the TMB solo in August with no reservations. I packed up my stuff in this crowded campground in Chamonix knowing I was not going to miss this campground, and I started walking towards Chamonix Sud Center to take the bus to Les Houches because the official start of the trail is in this town next to Chamonix called Les Houches. Unfortunately, it was me and basically everyone trying to start the hike who were getting on this bus, and it was full. Unfortunately, that wouldn't be my last experience with full buses. So I get off at the telecabine station because I'm also going to take the telecabine. And I know, first things first, I need a coffee and a snack before I hit the trail. And tell me, why was this the best pain au chocolat I've ever had? And here's a picture of my backpack before I start walking. I can go in detail about all the things I have inside in a different video. So you can judge me if you want, but I did start the trail by taking a different telecabine up the first 800-meter climb at the beginning of the trail, and I started walking at the top of the hill. A lot of people do this. It's not just me, okay? And I befriended this French girl who was in line for the telecabine with me, and we ended up walking together for like 3 hours. Her name is Anna. She was so sweet. And after the telecabine, the walk was pretty easy, pretty chill, a great warm-up way to start the day. Anna and I split up because we passed this little creek area and I wanted to take my shirt and pants off and go swimming in it because I was so hot and she didn't want to. So she kept walking and I went swimming in there. The midpoint of today's walk was the town Les Contamines, and there was a food store so I could buy some lunch and some extra food for dinner, including raisins, which turned out to be an excellent purchase. Then the day continued walking slowly up this hill past the school church, and I kept my water really full because I didn't know when was going to be the last opportunity to get water. By this point, it was around 4 or 5 p.m., and I had planned on stopping earlier, but I felt so good and I wanted to cover ground today, so I just kept going. Trail app I use called OpenStreetMaps Android. So I started the day in Chamonix and I took the bus to Les Houches. You can see the cable car that I took, Bellevue, up here. And I walked over to where the trail is, walked all along this trail, eventually until we get to Lake Contamine, where there's a food store. I love this app because you can zoom in, you can see everything. It shows you if there's a food store, it shows you where there's bathrooms, it shows you where there's parking lots, it shows you where all the other trails are. It's fantastic. And we keep heading south and we're passing some camping areas. This is the first camping area, and I was feeling too strong to stop, so I kept going past it to the south. This was my original plan where to stop, the bivouac area of La Rolaz. I had a reservation that I made online, but I felt good and I wanted to keep going. So I went even further to the next camping area. So I had made a reservation for a different camping area, not this one, and I figured hopefully no one's going to be checking, or if I get in trouble, I'll just explain what happened. So I arrived to this camping area around 5 p.m. It was already full, but my tent is so small I was able to squeeze it into a spot that was relatively flat between two people's tents. Let me tell you, people kept showing up to this campground until 9 p.m. I don't know where they squeezed their tents in. At this bivouac area, there was a flush toilet and running water down the hill at the bathroom, and so everyone was doing sponge baths. Let me tell you, I had this instant lentil soup, and I added raisins in it and a can of tuna. It was so good, guys. It was so good. While I was lying in my tent, I was worried about the rain coming tomorrow, so I emailed a refuge that was a good distance away the next day, and I found out they had a bed available, actually.